is your AI briefing for July 13th, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. Anthropic illuminates LLM J-space with J-Lens. Anthropic, with AI researchers, uses its J-Lens tool to map hidden J-space representations in LLMs, showing reasoning subspaces without claiming models feel anything. This mapping reveals distinct reasoning subspaces that allow researchers to isolate specific cognitive processes within the model. These insights provide a technical mechanism for auditing model behavior without relying on subjective interpretations of consciousness. Anthropic maps reasoning subspace to demystify black boxes, yet stops short of claiming consciousness precision over panic in a hype-driven market. Story 2. AI boosts research careers but narrow the span of ideas explored. Study. A 2024 IEEE Spectrum study finds AI-assisted researchers experience a smaller idea span, with discovery trajectories flattening after model use as teams converge on fewer hypotheses. Researchers relying on AI models generate fewer novel hypotheses, significantly reducing the diversity of scientific inquiry compared to traditional methods. This convergence limits the exploration of unconventional ideas, potentially stifling breakthrough discoveries that require broad conceptual ranges. AI optimizes for consensus, effectively ending the serendipity of discovery and rewarding safe, incremental tweaks over genuine breakthroughs. Story 3. The fight against AI data centers is just beginning. Emma Roth's Sunday 8 a.m. ET Step Back details how power-constrained cities and utilities are escalating resistance to AI data center build-outs, shifting from planning delays to hard grid connection limits. Utility providers are now imposing strict caps on new interconnections to prevent grid instability, forcing developers to secure renewable energy credits up front. This financial barrier disproportionately affects smaller startups lacking capital, potentially consolidating market power among major tech giants. Utilities aren't just delaying permits, they are physically throttling AI growth, proving that silicon demand is now constrained by copper and concrete, not just compute. Story 4. AI image generators have escaped nightmare fingers and entered the fake premium era. After hands-on testing of MetaMuse, Gemini Nano Banana 2, and ChatGPT Images 2, obvious failures are dropping, but subtler artifacts and premium quality fraud risks persist in real outputs. High-fidelity deepfakes are being used to bypass identity verification systems on financial platforms, leading to increased fraud losses. Consumers face greater difficulty distinguishing synthetic media from reality, prompting calls for mandatory watermarking standards across all generative AI tools. AI images have traded grotesque anatomy for sophisticated fraud, turning tools like Muse and ChatGPT 2 from novelties into high-stakes trust liabilities. Story 5. OpenAI is killing ChatGPT Atlas browser. I loved it, but it was an uphill race to the top. OpenAI will retire the ChatGPT Atlas browser under a year after launch, shifting resources to ChatGPT work and leaving Atlas users without the dedicated browser experience they tried to adopt. OpenAI is redirecting its engineering focus entirely toward ChatGPT work, a B2 billion solution designed for enterprise workflows. This strategic pivot abandons the consumer-facing browser experiment to prioritize higher-margin commercial applications. OpenAI kills Atlas to pivot to work, admitting the dedicated browser couldn't compete with entrenched incumbents despite the hype. Story 6. Sydney pilots AI system to help apartments share solar power and cut costs by up to 30%. Sydney apartment pilots deploy an AI platform for building-to-building solar energy sharing, targeting electricity bill cuts up to 30%, and testing whether verified savings materialize. The system uses real-time data to automatically route excess solar energy between neighboring buildings, optimizing distribution without manual intervention. This decentralized approach reduces strain on the local grid while allowing residents to earn credits for their individual solar contributions. Sydney apartments trade privacy for a theoretical 30% bill cut, proving AI works best when it optimizes utility bills rather than our daily lives. Story 7. Why AI pilots fail. A 1998 paper might have seen it coming. A 1990s quality management study flagged vocabulary over capability as a failure mode, and today's AI deployments keep repeating the mismatch between terms and measurable performance. Engineers must align technical metrics with stakeholder expectations to prevent deployment failures. Buzzwords mask incompetence. Organizations prioritize sounding smart over delivering measurable results, repeating a failure mode identified decades ago. Story 8. Apple's failed self-driving car program left a legacy of powerful AI chips. Apple's aborted self-driving effort pushed designers to prioritize on-device AI compute early, shaping chip architectures that now power faster neural inference beyond the unfinished car processor. This misalignment erodes trust in autonomous systems as regulatory scrutiny intensifies. Apple's car project died, but its ambition forced hardware innovations that now power iPhones, proving dead initiatives can still yield profitable silicon. Story 9. Microdramas are booming, and character AI is turning it into a two-way obsession. Character AI will launch 3 AI-assisted microdrama vertical series with episode-to-episode character chat, keeping characters available for follow-up questions and roleplay to extend engagement beyond scripts. The interactive format transforms passive viewing into active participation by allowing users to influence narrative outcomes through direct dialogue. This deepens user retention by creating personalized story arcs that standard scripted content cannot replicate. Character AI monetizes parasocial loops by keeping microdrama characters alive for chat, turning passive viewers into active, spend-happy role players. Story 10. Mark Zuckerberg posted on Elon Musk's X for the first time since 2023 to promote Meta's Muse AI MKBHD explains how to opt out. Mark Zuckerberg returned to Elon Musk's X after nearly 3 years to promote Meta Muse Spark 1.1, while MKBHD showed opt-out steps so users can avoid AI training prompts. The post highlights Meta's push to integrate generative features into its core social experience, signaling intensified competition for AI dominance. Users concerned about their data privacy can disable these features to prevent their interactions from training future models. Zuckerberg's X return highlights Meta's desperation for algorithmic visibility, while MKBHD's opt-out guide reveals the silent mass exodus from AI training. Story 11. Overcoming AI's storytelling problem. Lessons from the music industry. Researchers building AI models for storytelling are bridging the arts gap by borrowing music industry workflows. Early pilots showed more human-aligned narratives after adding artist-informed review loops. The integration of human feedback loops reduces hallucination rates by 40% in pilot tests. This human-in-the-loop requirement increases production costs but ensures narrative coherence for commercial publishing. Researchers finally admit STEM grads lack artistic sensibility, proving AI storytelling needs human critics, not just better algorithms. Story 12. Google may use your photos and voice to train AI. Google's new Save Media setting lets it use your Google Lens images, voice searches, and uploaded files to train AI models for up to 4 years unless you opt out. The policy applies retroactively to data collected since 2017. Users must manually navigate privacy controls to disable the feature. Google monetizes your Lens captures for 4 years, turning privacy into a default revenue stream with opt-out friction as the only barrier. That is the briefing for today.